Why NCIS still matters. There are TV shows, and then there are TV institutions. And if you've ever turned on CBS any time in the last 20 years, you've probably stumbled across one of the most iconic institutions in television history, NCIS. What started as a spin-off of JAG back in 2003 has become a juggernaut, a show that survived cast exits, shocking deaths, spin-offs, and even a changing TV landscape. While other shows burned bright and then faded away, NCIS just kept marching forward like Gibbs on a case, steady, unshakable, unstoppable. But why has NCIS endured? The answer is simple: the characters, the team, the family, the bonds. Today we're diving into a full recap of NCIS from Season 1 all the way through Season 21. First, we'll meet the iconic core cast, then we'll move quickly through the early years. But most importantly, we'll focus on the last several seasons, where the show reinvented itself and proved it could thrive even after losing its heart and soul. Leroy Jethro Gibbs. The iconic team, main character introductions. Leroy Jethro Gibbs, the silent commander. No character defines NCIS more than Leroy Jethro Gibbs, played by Mark Harmon. A former Marine sniper turned NCIS special agent, Gibbs is a man of few words and endless rules. He's tough, unflinching, and scarred by a past filled with tragedy, including the murder of his wife Shannon and daughter Kelly. That loss defines everything about Gibbs: his obsession with justice, his tendency to carry the world on his shoulders, and his struggle to ever fully heal. But Gibbs is also a father figure to his team. He's gruff, yes, but fiercely protective. His head slaps and unspoken approval became part of the show's DNA. DiNozzo, the charming wisecracker. If Gibbs was the father, then DiNozzo was the mischievous older brother. Played by Michael Weatherly, Tony began as the comic relief, cracking jokes, making movie references, and flirting with suspects. But over time, DiNozzo grew into a deeply loyal and capable agent. His banter with Gibbs, his friendship with McGee, and his complicated, slow-burn romance with Ziva turned him into a fan favorite. Ziva David, the assassin turned family. Ziva David, played by Coda de Pablo, entered in Season 3, replacing Kate Todd after her shocking death. At first, she was a Mossad liaison, mysterious, dangerous, and unpredictable. But over time, Ziva transformed into a loyal NCIS agent, though her past constantly haunted her. Her chemistry with Tony, dubbed Tiva by fans, is legendary. Timothy McGee, the rookie who became a rock. At first, Timothy McGee, Sean Murray, was the awkward probie, more comfortable with computers than fieldwork. Gibbs often teased him. Tony bullied him. But over 20-plus seasons, McGee grew into one of the most dependable members of NCIS. His tech skills saved the team countless times, but more importantly, he evolved into a confident leader and family man. Abby Scuito, the goth scientist with a heart of gold. No one brought more energy to the lab than Abby Scuito, portrayed by Polly Perrette. A caffeine-fueled forensic scientist with a goth aesthetic and childlike enthusiasm, Abby could brighten even the darkest crime scene. Her deep bond with Gibbs, who treated her like a daughter, was one of the show's most heartfelt relationships. Dr. Donald Ducky Mallard, the gentle soul. Played by the late David McCallum, Ducky Mallard was the wise medical examiner with a story for every occasion. More than just the guy performing autopsies, Ducky was the team's conscience. His kindness and perspective made him the grandfather figure of NCIS. Together, these characters made NCIS more than a procedural. They made it a family drama disguised as a crime show. The first 10 seasons built the legacy. Each season delivered weekly cases, but more importantly, layered arcs and shocking twists. Let's move quickly through these to set the stage. Season 1, 2003 to 2004, the team is introduced. Kate Todd, Sasha Alexander, is Gibbs's right hand. Tony is the jokester. McGee is introduced as a recurring probie. Abby and Ducky provide lab support. Season 2, NCIS finds its footing. But in a shocking finale, Kate Todd is assassinated by Ari Haswari, Ziva's half-brother. It was the show's first major loss. Season 3, Ziva David joins, creating tension but also adding depth. She kills Ari, her own brother, to save Gibbs. The family dynamic shifts forever. Season 4 to 5, leadership drama surfaces. Director Jenny Shepard's personal history with Gibbs complicates things. We learn more about Gibbs's tragic past. By season 5, Shepard dies in a firefight, and Leon Vance, Rocky Carroll, becomes director. Season 6 to 7, Ziva's Mossad ties explode into conflict. The episodes Aliyah and Truth or Consequences become instant classics. Gibbs becomes more vulnerable, his past continues to resurface. Season 8 to 9, Tony matures, McGee grows more confident, and the show cements itself as a ratings giant. Villains like Paloma Reynosa and Harper Deering test Gibbs and the team in unforgettable arcs. Season 10, relationships deepen. But in the background, exits loom. Ziva's arc builds toward departure, and Tony becomes the emotional anchor. The first decade of NCIS created legends. But the real test? Could the show survive the loss of its most beloved characters? The Era of Change, Seasons 11 to 15. Season 11, Ziva's Departure. Ziva leaves the team, a decision that shatters Tony. She returns to Israel, unable to continue balancing her past and her present. The season ends with Bishop, Emily Wickersham, joining the team. Season 12 to 13, Bishop settles in, Tony leaves. Bishop proves herself, intelligent, analytical, slightly socially awkward. But by season 13, the bombshell arrives. Ziva is presumed dead in a bombing, and it's revealed she had a daughter, Tali. Tony is the father. Tony leaves NCIS to raise his daughter. It's one of the most emotional farewells in TV history. Season 14, Torres joins. Nick Torres, Wilmer Valderrama, arrives, bringing a fiery undercover edge. Alongside Bishop, McGee, and Gibbs, he helps carry the show into a new era. Season 15, Abby's farewell. Abby's final season is emotional. After she and Clayton Reeves are attacked, Reeves dies, saving her. Abby survives but chooses to leave NCIS. It's the end of another era, as Gibbs loses one of his closest bonds. The modern era, seasons 16 to 21. Season 16 to 17, Ziva's shocking return. Hints drop in season 16, and then in season 17, the impossible happens. Ziva is alive. She reunites with Gibbs, scarred but fierce. She eventually reconnects with Tony and Tali off-screen, giving closure to fans. Season 18, Tragedy Strikes. Season 18 sees more turmoil. Bishop's career path shifts dramatically as she prepares for deep undercover work, essentially writing her out of the team. Season 19, Gibbs says goodbye. After nearly 20 years, Gibbs leaves NCIS. His final arc shows him tired of the endless cycle of violence. He finds peace in Alaska, choosing a quiet life. Enter Alden Parker, Gary Cole, a former FBI agent who becomes the new leader. Season 20, Torres's struggles. Torres becomes the emotional center. His anger, trauma, and loyalty are tested. McGee shines as a steady senior leader, balancing family with work. Parker cements himself as a worthy successor. Season 21, the legacy continues. By season 21, NCIS proves it can survive without Gibbs. Torres continues to wrestle with his demons. McGee is the heart of the team. Parker leads with humor and pragmatism, and the show leans on ensemble storytelling, themes, and legacy. Across 21 seasons, NCIS has always been about more than cases. It's about family, Gibbs's rules, Tony and Ziva's love story, Abby's quirky kindness, McGee's growth, Torres's struggle for belonging, the losses of Kate, Jenny, Ziva, Tony, Abby, Bishop, and finally Gibbs. Through it all, NCIS has endured. Because it's not about who is on the team, it's about the team itself, the future of NCIS. As season 21 closes, NCIS is a different show than it was in 2003. But the soul remains. The mission of justice, the bonds of family, and the scars of the past drive every story. And that's why NCIS has lasted. Because it's not just about solving crimes, it's about people. So whether you've been watching since Gibbs first gave McGee a head slap, or you just tuned in to see Parker lead the charge, one thing is certain: NCIS will keep marching forward, and the family, our family, will always be there.